This after President-elect Joe Biden last night outlined his ambitious plans for stimulating the U.S. economy, spending some $1.9 trillion, getting money into the hands of Americans, increasing child tax credits, earned income tax credits, among other measures. And let's start our conversation there. Yahoo Finance senior columnist Rick Newman joins us now to talk a bit about the agenda, Rick, that we heard outlined from the president-elect. And we'll start with the obvious question, and it's obviously an unknowable question, but how much of this do you think is going to get done when the next Congress is seated and when Joe Biden is sworn in as president?
I think Congress will pass about half of it, maybe a little more than half of it. So he's asking for $1.9 trillion, as you mentioned. Biden knows that's a stretch. The analysis I'm seeing this morning suggests he could get $1 trillion, maybe as much as $1.5 trillion. I think we're going to see Congress dial back a few things, such as $350 billion in state and city aid. The number's not going to be that high. I don't think we're going to get a $15 minimum wage even phased in, because a lot of Republicans are opposed to that. And I think a lot of the other things that he'll get some money for them. It's just not going to be as much as he's asking for.
Yeah, Rick, I think that the $15 minimum wage ad caught a few folks by surprise. Even if Biden were not to get $15 an hour, do you think he will finally be able to pass through a hike in the minimum wage, which is just absurdly low right now, and it's been low?
It is absurdly low. It's at $7.25 per hour. It's been there for, I think it's been there for almost 15 years. I mean, the federal minimum wage is almost meaningless at this point. But there's a problem with raising it, which is that it would impose a burden on businesses. And let's face it, right now, the types of businesses that have to deal with the minimum wage, think about it, restaurants, retailers, these are the ones that are getting creamed in the coronavirus recession. So you can get around this. You could phase it in. You could wait. You could wait until next year or even the following year to say it begins, and then raise it in tranches. The Democrats have been wanting to raise the minimum wage for a long time, and it does need to be raised. It just needs to be raised carefully. And by the way, if this happens under the Biden administration, please index the minimum wage to inflation so it goes up on its own and we don't have to be stuck with a minimum wage that is kind of continually behind the times.
Yeah, we don't have to wait a couple generations and then raise it by 100% just to catch up
Right.
with sort of where things are at. All right.